So it is finally a nice warm Sunday afternoon. I look like absolute crap because I've been on the struggle bus all week getting a water line in for the house. But for what little bit I have been shooting, the other day I had done some things that I kind of want to talk about and thought I'd make a good video on it. So I had to eat me a big slice of humble pie. And a lot of this is going to be about draw length and talking about draw length. So I took my draw length down 1/4 of an inch. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but it made a big difference. So I'm going to explain things about do's and don'ts about draw lengths, kind of things that you can look forward to and see if it's happening to you, and things that have happened to me and how to fix them. So let's get into it. So, how to check proper draw length on anything. I know it seems like a simple thing to do, but we're going to run through it. So whenever you go and check your draw length, what you want to do is you want to be able to get your setup, hand pointed down at the ground. You want to come up high, high elbow, high arm. My arm's kind of locked in. My arm's kind of locked into position. My elbow is just slightly bent. So just slightly bent out. And you want to be able to come up high, draw, and then set your shoulders down and bring your release hand to your face. So whenever I come down for proper draw length, whenever I come down and set my release hand to my face, my nose automatically touches the string without moving my head. So I'm not moving my head, release to my face. I'm touching the string with my nose. My arm stays the same. My bow arm stays the same. My release hand stays the same. Everything stays the same. I'm just going up here, dropping it down here, bringing it to my face. So it seems like a lot of steps, but it's not a big movement. So you're just coming up, down, boom, to your face. If you were to do that, so we're not moving our head, we're not adjusting to the bow. If you were to do that and the draw length was a little too long, what it would look like is you would come up, draw, and when you come down and go to anchor into your face, your nose would be just past the string. String would be further back on you. Your release hand's going to be at the back of your jaw, back of your head, whatever. Or your arm's going to be really extended out like this when you're shooting, and you're kind of leaning back like this. And that's a good indication that your draw length too long, you shoot, slapping your arm, things of that nature. If your draw length is too short, then what you're going to end up seeing is when you come up, you draw back and you anchor down, your string's not going to be in front of your face. You're going to have to scrunch or tilt your head down to be able to get that string in. That string's just going to be far away from your face. Your elbow is going to be, you're going to end up having to kick your elbow in like this. You're going to be real scrunched up. And on too long or too short, I'd rather my draw length be a little shorter than a little longer. If it's a little bit shorter, you can still shoot pretty consistent that way, control the bow good. If your draw length is too long, your bow's not going to hold good and it's going to be a little bit harder to control. Now with that being said, everybody's different. Everybody shoots a bow a different way. Everybody has their own form and their own way to shoot a bow. As long as you shoot it consistent, that's all that matters. Chris Perkins, when Chris Perkins shoots, he's real stretched out, his elbows kicked in, and he's shooting like this with a pimpoline. And he's a tournament archer, and he gets paid to do it, and he shoots good. He's won a lot of ASAs, indoors, IBOs, just about everything you can think of shooting like that. Then you have, if you look at Levi, Levi's got really long arms, and Tim Gillingham too. And Levi, if you look at when Levi shoots, his arms he's on the little shorter side, mainly because it's hard for him to get a bow that fits him. But he's a little on the shorter side, so when he shoots, his arm is like this. And he said that he shoots better scrunched up a little bit versus out like this. which is just, to each is their own, but you just have to find a consistent medium within that. And like I said, for me, being a little bit shorter is better than being a little bit longer. Now, when I went out and shot, so the problem that I was having, and the whole reason I made this video and why I switched and made mine shorter, is when I was shooting, I would shoot pretty good groups. Like, I didn't feel stretched out. It was only 27 and a quarter. I moved it to 27. I didn't feel stretched out. I wasn't slapping my arm or anything like that, but I would shoot, and I would shoot consistent for a little bit, and then I'd have a flyer. And then I would shoot, and then I wasn't real holding good. I had a lot of pin movement and stuff, and I couldn't really control the bow like I wanted to. So I moved it and just went ahead and bit the bullet and shortened it. When I shortened it, the bow held a lot better. My shot started breaking cleaner. I had a problem with my release hand trying to get it to activate. Once I shortened it up, my shot started breaking cleaner. I had a nice high elbow when I was shooting. And then my groups got tighter, got more consistent. Whenever you're a right-handed shooter, if your draw length's too long, you're going to break left. I was breaking left. And for a left-handed shooter, you'd be breaking right. So you'd be doing the opposite of a right-handed shooter if you're left. But if your draw length is a little bit too short on you, or a little bit's not going to matter. If your draw length's an inch, we'll say an inch too short, and you're real scrunched up, and you're trying to control that bow when you shoot, you're going to have so much force coming off of that. You're not going to have a good face pressure. You're not going to have good, it's going to be really inconsistent for you to have to come in and do this and bring the bow to you versus coming down like this and anchoring in. If you anchor in and dip your head just a hair, that's not a problem. It's whenever you start doing this, what's going to end up happening is you're going to have some low impacts. You're not going to be consistent. You're going to have real bad pin wobble. The bow's not going to hold that good for you. You're going to be scrunched up and feel like you're ready to collapse. And you're going to get fatigued a lot easier if it's like an inch, inch and a half too short, half an inch. From like an inch to half an inch too short, you're going to start feeling fatigued with it. And we're going to get to things that you can do to counteract all this, to get the setup that you need and get your draw length right for you. There are some things that you can do to kind of fix all this. So the first thing to do is obviously get different mods. If you got an Elite like I got and you got universal mods, use them, set your draw length right, get it proper for you. You can mess around with D-loop links. So also, Tim Gillingham and Levi, they are really long draws. Tim Gillingham does not have a bow that fits his draw length. I think he's like 32 inches. So his D-loop is this long. So he's not shooting real scrunched up. He made his D-loop longer to stretch his hand out farther away from him to get a better hold on a bow. So you can mess around with D-loops, you can shorten it, you can lengthen it. But here's the thing, if you shorten your D-loop too much, you can get twist on it. So my D-loop is about average size. So my D-loop, if I can get my tape measure to come out, we are at, from the back of the string to the end of the D-loop, we're looking at like 3/4 of an inch, 5/8 of an inch, 5/8. We'll cut it off 5/8. It's about average. If you end up any shorter than that and you get it real close to the string, a lot of D-loop material is stiff. Whenever you especially have a handheld with a wrist strap, it don't really matter that much. But with a handheld, when you twist to go to your face, some people twist all the way up like this. Some, like me, stay pretty neutral. That is adding torque to your string, and torque is an inconsistency. And that's not something good to have. But if you're shooting a wrist strap, it's not that big of a problem because you're not turning or anything, you're coming straight back. So you can shorten it. If you got a wrist strap, it won't hurt you that bad. If you got a handheld, shortening your D-loop is going to hurt you in consistency because it's going to be torquing your string. So I would just move my draw length down. Another thing to do to adjust your draw length is to add or take away twists in the cables. When you add twists to the cables, you're going to increase your poundage and you're also going to increase your draw length. Be very careful. If you twist it up too much, it's going to void your warranty. When you take twists out of the string, it's going to shorten your draw length a little bit. But whenever you're adding and taking away, just keep in mind that a little goes a long way. So I wouldn't want to twist it more than at least 2 twists is like max. And 2 twists is a lot, but 2 twists would be the max. Do not twist your strings to where you don't have any twists in them with that, because like I said, it's just going to end up voiding your warranty on the bow, and it's going to wear your strings and your cables out. But add some twists, take away some twists into your cables, and that's going to increase or decrease your draw length on that. And one of the last things that you can do is, like on my Elite here, you have the universal adjustment for your let off. So you can add let off and decrease let off. When you add let off, well, decrease it. So say you go from 90%, you take it to like 80, that's going to shorten your draw length. If you're at 75, 80, 85, somewhere around there, take it to 90, and it's going to increase your draw length. Just micro. That's like a micro adjustment, something that you can do to micro adjust it to really fine tune your draw length on that. But another thing, like if you're micro adjusting your draw length, just do it in your D loop more than anything. If you want to mess around with let off, you can, but there's a lot of bows out there that have adjustable let off on their mods now. But there's just a few that you're going to have to buy different mods to be able to do it, and it doesn't affect your draw length at that point. It only works if you have universal adjustment on your mods. But kind of a short video, just wanted to run down some key points and stuff that I've done and things that I've used. So do not get too long of a draw length, do not get too short of a draw length. Make sure your draw length's correct for you, and you'll shoot better, and you'll hold better, and you'll have a lot more confidence. See you guys.